Okay, in this video we're going to show you how to define a test end-to-end to kind of tie all the pieces together. First thing I'm going to do is go into my demo studio here, go into a members list just to show you. I'll pick the white belt up on top there. And if we look under testing status, we see that there's a gray graduation cap with a red exclamation mark. If I touch that, it basically is telling us there is no test defined for this member. So let's go ahead and define tests for white belts. So I'm going to get out of here. We're going to go to the back end and log in. Click the business owner's link. Log in with your user ID and password. And we're going to go right to skills and requirements. Currently, see we have nothing in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a few skill types. Punches. Let's add kicks. And it'll stop right there. We've got two types defined, punches and kicks. We're basically defining what it is you teach here, and you're just organizing them in buckets. So in the punches, we'll add a punch that we'll test on. Let's say a middle punch and a low punch. And right here, while we're here, this is the link you can use to define a URL resource that'll show up on the member portal so they can click it for a demonstration. That URL can go to any resource you have on the internet. Most likely it'll be a video. Go ahead and add that. Go to kicks. Let's add a couple kicks. Front kick. Add. Let's add a side kick. And add. Close that out. We'll just expand these out. These are the two punches we added. These are the two kicks we added. So you basically, up here is where you define all the skills that you teach in your school and group them what makes sense to you here. Now back on the iPad, we're going to go ahead and hit the refresh button in the top right corner there to get those new changes we just put in place. We're going to go into the testing button. We're going to define curriculum. We have to define a curriculum first. And we'll see we have nothing in here right now. So I'm going to go ahead and push the new on the bottom left. And we'll give this a name. I like starting with a number up front. It'll sort for you better. We'll call this number 10, and we'll call it white. All ages, suggested levels will be, it's called beginner here. We'll expand out. We're going to say we're going to do a middle punch for this test, for this curriculum. And we're going to do a front kick for this curriculum. So we've moved over two skills that is going to be part of this curriculum. I'm going to push save on the bottom. So now we have a curriculum defined for white. Now I'm going to go ahead and define the test for the white belt. You'll see I have no test defined right now. Push new on the bottom. And again, I'm going to use the #10 again. I like keeping them the same number. And we'll call this white. We could say white belt test. Suggested levels will be white. My belt testing fee for this is $20, so I'll put that in there. You can change this later, of course. And then I'm going to go ahead and select the curriculum that's going to belong to this test. If you have multiple curriculums that you want to assign to a white belt test, you would just go ahead and select them. Let's say you had one that was exercise, that was push-ups and sit-ups. You could add that as part of the test. So we'll add the white belt curriculum here in this case. We'll say OK. So that is now the test we have defined for white belt. I'm going to push save on the bottom. I'm going to back out here again now and do the last step, which is activate the test. Push activate test. Find my belt on the left called beginner. You'll see we have no active test in the middle column there up top. No active test is now defined. The test that's available to me to assign to it is the number 10 white belt test. So I'm going to touch that. Hit the notepad button there. I'm going to set that as the active test. So that is now the active test for my beginner belt or white belt. Now if I go back to my members list and we'll go to my white belt. Oh, let me refresh that. I see why the age group is defined here, and the age is 116 here, so that's why it's still showing not there. It's not matching the age group for all ages. I think it goes up to 99 years old, so we're going to go ahead and change this birth date here to make the age make more sense. And we'll save the birth date there. So now he's 57 years old, and now notice the graduation cap. There is now a test available at that particular age level. If I touch that, I check skills. Those are the two skills we had defined for this test. That is how you define a test for a specific level. The next video will be showing you how we actually execute the test.